Hi, my name's Jennifer, and welcome to Sunshone's Corner. This is my first YouTube video, so bear with me. And I am making this because I recently discovered in the last year or so that I was playing games all wrong. Um, I have been playing, one of the things I'm going to start with is The Sims, and I have been playing that since it came out in the year 2000. Um, on and off, and I've raised kids since then, and things I would get very bored. um I knew how to play it, but I didn't know how to really play it um until like the last year, and I started watching games and watching some videos that just happened to pop up for Dreamlight Valley, which I would also play on and off because I'd get bored after a little bit, and life. And I realized I was doing it wrong. There was so much more to get out of it. And recently I'm like, I haven't played The Sims in a really long time. I'm going to open that back up. And I watched a few videos and I discovered legacy challenges and different ways to build and mods and CC. And I literally just never even tried to go outside the barriers of what the game offered. Um, and so this is going to be my kind of journey on doing legacy challenges and builds and being on the older side of things, trying to figure things out in a new way. And, I figure things out pretty quickly. So I'm hoping this will bring new life back into things for me and maybe help out a few other people that just didn't grow up watching YouTube to figure out how to do things and just trying to do things on your own. And I started doing one challenge and I've had so much more fun than I have with some of these games, and I just want to share that. So I'm going to end up starting a brand new challenge that Rosannatxt started and created, called the Pack Legacy Challenge, the Legacy Pack Challenge. And because I've gotten most of the packs at this point, and never really fully played them. I've never gotten what you can out of them, and this feels like a really good way to do that. So I want to get my money and my time's worth out of these things and just have fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Welcome. I hope you'll join me along this journey. All right, here we have Max. And I just did a randomized name. I actually ended up changing the last name down the road because I just wasn't feeling that. So what we are working with is the Pack Legacy Challenge. The first pack we are working with is the Outdoor Retreat, and Max is going to be our first heir. And the summary of this challenge for this first generation is that the founder of your legacy challenge will be a hopeless romantic looking for the one to take on the journey of a lifetime. Your sim grew up in a fisher family, and to this date it's still one of their favorite things to do. Next to fishing, your sim loves to read, and their perfect life is a simple house amidst nature where they can spend all of their time exploring the land with their partner. However, there is one downside. The love of their life hates bugs and creepy crawlers. So that is why I gave Max the Angling Ace aspiration. He is a romantic, a bookworm, and here I believe I'm looking for loves the outdoors. So it's very fitting. He's got the personality that we need for this to work out. And let's see, I know I find it here somewhere. Let's see. I think it's in that second one. There we go. Loves the outdoors. And then I kind of wanted to randomize it and not think too much on this because I can be very indecisive. So trying to pick all that stuff doesn't always work out for me. So here, I'm trying to remember where the randomized sim is. And finally figured it out. So I'm going to just do a 1, 2, 3 randomize and go with the third one. Here we go. We're going to give him a little makeover though. I'm not feeling the hair, not really feeling the beard. I can go with the facial hair, but the beard's just not working for me. So let's find him some hair. I think he'd be good with a good amount of hair. Just a little more styled. I think this one's good. It's styled, but it's messy. Someone that loves the outdoors. He doesn't care all that much about how he looks. So here, we're gonna find him some clothes. I already got his everyday outfit. We're gonna go through some formal wear. I ended up going a little faster through this because I didn't want the video to be too long. It had gotten a little long, so I just went through and went pretty quick through most of his outfits. Changed his last name to Henderson, so Max Henderson will be our first heir for the outdoor retreat pack. And here we go. We're going to start in the spring and then start our build in Oasis Springs, which will come up pretty soon, but I chose it because they have a lot with some fishing, so let's get building. All right, so I'm just going to start with a shell. I kind of went through pretty basically. Building is not my strongest suit. Like I already said, I get a little bit indecisive. Like this roof I'm building right now, I don't end up keeping it because I just don't like it. So that doesn't stay that way for too long. I was really trying to just go with my first instinct on these. But I wanted to give them a little patio area here, so eventually they can have a seating area. I was struggling with the stairs a little bit for some reason, but finally got those to work. I wanted to kind of keep with the desert theme since we are in Oasis Springs. Just kind of going through some options. I ended up not liking the foundation all that much, but I went with it just to kind of get it out of the way and not overthink it too much. I do end up putting some landscaping around it, so it doesn't end up being that big of a deal. I wanted kind of an open floor plan. To keep it very basic and simple, since that's the kind of sim that this person is. Just getting some windows added. We're going to end up eventually going in and adding a sliding glass door and a back porch because this sim loves the outdoors. So they're going to want to be outside a lot and have a lot of outdoor activities. So that's what we're doing here. And then I actually ended up changing the railings to match the stair rails because it's a little more cohesive. But like I said, I can be indecisive. Okay, so here is our cute little house in Oasis Springs. Went with some of the desert landscaping to give it kind of that desert vibe. We've got our path going out to where he can go fishing. I don't want to move that. Of course. So let's go inside. It is very, very basic at the moment. Ran out of money. So this is almost going to be like a rags to riches. I've got $230 instead of $0, but pretty close. So I've got a very basic open concept living, kitchen, dining area, a bedroom with only a bed at the moment. I've got some books so he can learn some skills, but just some basics in the kitchen, fairly basic bathroom, just a tiny bit of clutter to give it some personality. And then we will just add as we go. Right now, the second bedroom doesn't even have wallpaper, so we will get to it and we will grow and we will start this journey together. And so I hope you will join me on this. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you real soon. Thanks.